If you ever do big document analysis or log analysis or domain analysis, there are times when you upload a huge document. On the first run, you get different result than the second run. That's where chunking comes in. Now, what chunking is doing, it is dividing this huge document into separate chunks and then feeding the model. The model is then working on these separate chunks and providing an output. It's widely known that when you provide a whole big document and ask it for finding the candidate of importance, right, for summarizing the whole document, the model is actually finding these candidates near to the beginning and the end of the document. Most possibly it is skipping the middle section of the document. That's where chunking is helpful, where the model is actually working on each of the chunks and finally providing you a concise, structured summary which can be reproducible. 3 of the most important caveats. First one, each chunks is possibly going to a different mixture of experts, right? If the model is MOE model, mixture of experts model. Second, and one of the biggest, is when this chunk is already processed, the reduce step where all these chunks coming together to provide a concise, a proper summary, that's where the possibility of error or variance is introduced, which we are trying to reduce by chunking. Third, and the most important one, is the document level property. You need to have a specific domain expertise to know what's there in the document, what's there in the logs, what's there in the technical assessment. If chunk 1 is somehow having information leaking into chunk 7, or chunk 7 is somehow is having connection to chunk 2, there is a little bit of correlation, a little bit of overlapping, which independent assessment will not go through. The mixture of experts or the models will not have the idea that chunk 2 is having that information which needs to be included in chunk 7. That's one of the biggest caveats, and that's where domain level expertise comes in. There is a lot of thing for sure in this diagram I have skipped. I will explain it in the later day.